Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and today in this video we are going to study about lymphatic system. So as we already learned that primary lymphoid organs are the sites where the cells of immune system matures, and in the secondary lymphoid organs they get opportunity to encounter with the antigens and they initiate the immune response. So primary lymphoid organs are the site of development of the cells or maturation of the cell, and secondary lymphoid organs are the site where they encounter antigens and initiate the immune response. Now, among secondary lymphoid organs, lymph nodes and spleen are the most highly organized organs. Coming to less organized system, it includes MALT, that is mucosa associated lymphoid tissue. Now, the fluid which is present in the blood vessels, that fluid we call it as a plasma. When the same fluid enters into lymphatic vessel, we call it as a lymph. And again, when the same fluid enters into tissue, we call it as an interstitial fluid. So in this diagram, as you can see, the heart pumps blood in our entire body through arteries. Now, the fluid present in these blood, we call it as a plasma. From here, it enters into lymphatic system. So when the fluid pass into lymphatic system, the same fluid we call it as a lymph. From lymph, it will enter the tissues. So the spaces of the tissues, we call it as a interstitial fluid. So when the same lymph are present in the tissue spaces, we call it as a interstitial fluid. So the fluid, when it is in the blood vessel, we call it as a plasma. From here, it leaches into the lymphatic system, and then we call it as a lymph, and from there when it enters the spaces between the tissues, we call it as an interstitial fluid. So this is the same diagram showing the same thing, only this lighter vessels are the lymphatic capillaries and this darker vessels are the blood vessels. So in the lymphatic capillaries, we know the fluid by the name of lymph. In the blood capillaries, we know the fluid by the name of plasma, and when it is present in the tissue spaces, the same fluid we call it as an interstitial fluid. Now, if we see this diagram, what this diagram is saying is thoracic duct. This is the largest lymphatic duct which collects and drains into subclavian vein. Now, this thoracic duct collects lymph from all the parts of the body except this right head and right arm. The lymph from this right head and right arm, they get collected into right lymphatic duct which get drains into right subclavian vein. That is only written here. All cells and fluid circulating in the lymph are ultimately written to the blood system. So thoracic duct, it is the largest lymphatic vessel, empties into left subclavian vein. It collects lymph from all the parts of the body except right arm and right side of the head, which is collected by right lymphatic duct and drains into right subclavian vein. Now, heart does not pump the lymph through the lymphatic system. Instead, the slow, low pressure flow of lymph is achieved by the movement of surrounding muscles. That means because of our body movement, the lymph flows in the lymphatic vessels. There is no pumping system like blood in case of lymphatic vessel. That's why it is said that when we become static or when we don't move or don't do exercises, we get ill more, because in that case the lymph does not get the opportunity to flow in our body. So when we move more, when we do exercises, so because of this twisting and turnings of our muscles, the lymph flows in our body, and that's how it provides protection to our body. And lymph flow is only one direction. The flow of blood is bidirectional. The flow of lymph is only one directional, that is unidirectional. So now this is the overall presentation of what we learned so far, that whenever any antigen enter inside our body, either it will bind with some antigen presenting cells and or it will remain isolated. Now, if it binds with any antigen presenting cell, this antigen presenting cell will release some cytokines which will activate the other immune cells, and these cells will also then enter into the lymphatic vessels. And this antigen presenting cells also will enter the lymphatic vessel, and with the help of lymph, it will travel and enter into the secondary lymphoid organs. If the antigen is not associated with any antigen presenting cell, then also it will enter the lymphatic vessels, and with the help of link, it will bring to the secondary lymphoid organs. In the secondary lymphoid organs, we have the cells of lymphoid lineage. So these cells will get the opportunity to interact with this antigen. So antigen either with binding with antigen presenting cell or as an isolated form, they'll enter the lymphatic vessels, and with the help of lymph, they'll bring to the secondary lymphoid organs. And during this form, when the antigen is associated with antigen presenting cell, this antigen presenting cell can also release some cytokines, and this cytokines will help to activate the other immune system, will help to call the other immune cells into the lymphatic vessels. So they'll bring the antigen up to the secondary lymphoid organs where the cells of lymphoid lineages are present, and they get a chance to interact with the antigens and starts the process of the antigen killing. So that's all for this video. If you found the video informative, please do like, share and subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon for the next video notification. Till then, stay safe, stay happy.